Welcome to Respawn Please, the video game podcast where two dum-dums come together to talk all things video games. I'm your host, Jesus, and with me, as always, is the list of things to do behind him, Ell. He was explaining to me his list of things he had to do
My
behind
little whiteboard back there of things that I have to do.
him. Yeah. One of them is pertaining to his dog, Hawk.
Oh yeah, pertaining to my dog. An instrumental album named after my dog Hawk.
Yeah. So for some reason, when you first told me your dog's name was Hawk, my mind went to Cobra Kai because there's a character named Hawk in Cobra Kai.
Oh, didn't know that. Interesting.
Have you watched Cobra Kai at all?
No, I haven't watched it. I thought about watching it one time, but I never got around to it.
It is exceptional. You should watch it. But this is not about Cobra Kai. I mean, we could do a whole podcast about Cobra Kai. I fucking love Cobra Kai. They dropped a trailer for season 6, which is going to be their last season.
Wow.
I'm excited beyond belief about it. Anyways, this is about video games. And today, we're putting our digital fake currency where our mouth is. We're going to do the fantasy. What? Whoa. Oh,
I was trying to do a rendition of that football song. Tuesday Night Football.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't watch football. I don't know what you're talking about.
that nobody got it. It's okay.
Because everyone. So for everybody's head. What? No, I just went blank. We're putting our money where our mouth is. We are going to be playing the fantasy game Critic League stuff. We have our setup here. Ell, why don't you introduce your studio? What is the purpose of what is the name of your studio? Your game studio, or your game team, I should say. And what is your slogan? What is your slogan?
So, the name of my studio, for those who are not watching and you're probably listening, is Nacho Average Games. Nacho Average Games. So the purpose is we're here to play great games, not your average games. That doesn't necessarily mean like everyday games. It means just games that, are worth playing, whether they be action adventure, RPG, MMOs, just whatever. And we're here to enjoy those not average games. That last part, I don't know. I wasn't too confident, but yeah, that's what we're here to have fun.
Awesome. Yeah, my publisher name, it's the publisher, not the whatever.
Oh,
anyways, publisher. The publisher is Solitary Games for me because I'm Solitary Jess on all my social medias and stuff because I like to play games alone. I don't like playing multiplayer games. Are there going to be multiplayer games on my list? Maybe. Who knows? But we're doing our fantasy game Critic League. It's just called the Respawn Please podcast. I also posted the link below for anybody who wants to monitor it throughout the year. You will be able to do that. But tonight we are drafting our first 6 games, and then after that, throughout the year, we can add games up until November. November is the cutoff.
Nice.
Just so you know, Well, I didn't tell you that. The cutoff is November. You can't add any more games after November. So any games that you want to get, when E3 rolls around, keep an eye out for those games, like
oh yeah,
what's going to happen, So that's usually how you play that, just watch and then we're going to bid on those games that come out throughout the year. Tonight it's all free. We don't have to spend the $100 budget that you can see here on the screen. That $100 budget comes into play when we start bidding on future games to add to our lists. So
nice.
Yeah, keep an eye out on E3, or just fill up your list tonight after we get off of here. It's all up to you. Play it the way you want. But at the end of the season, we'll take stock. We'll check in throughout the season and everything to see who's in the lead, who's not. See what games are doing well that we drafted, and then at the end of the year, we declare a winner. It's going to either be Ell, or it's going to be me. And the winner, I was debating about this. I was thinking like, I haven't thrown this part at you.
You have not.
The loser, the loser has to buy the winner a pizza.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. Yep. That sounds good.
So
I can do that.
Yep. At the end of the year, we'll have to do it for like our last episode of the year. Either you send me a pizza or I send you a pizza because we live in totally different states.
Exactly. Yeah. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, so maybe
Nice.
I'll be in a different country. Who knows? 'Cause, I may be in a
Whoa.
different country by
Oh,
that point.
wow.
Because things are happening on my end that I'll talk about it maybe eventually. We'll see. Because it will change things up. But anyways,
It
that's for
will.
future problems. That's for future problems that
That's our
may or may not happen.
future solitary Jess.
Yes, it's for future, Jess. But now, let us begin the draft. Elle, you get to go first. I do have a set of rules. Do you want me to go through the rules real quick?
Yes, let's go
All
through
right.
for the listeners.
All right. So we have rules. We have 6 rounds. Elle's going to start the draft. So Elle's going to go first, and then I get to go twice in a row. Then Elle goes twice in a row, and then we keep going back and forth until until we finish 6 rounds. So Elle's going to get the first game, and Elle's going to get the very last game. So once you say a game, it's locked in. If you even utter a name, if you even start saying a name, if you start going, I pick Half-Life. Well, you're picking Half-Life 3. Is Half-Life 3 coming out this year? Who freaking knows? Is Half-Life 3 even a thing? I don't know. Elle chose it. I don't know why. But once you start saying a name, once you say the name, it's locked in. So there's no second guessing. You can't take it back. Once you say the name, it is locked in. This is just an arbitrary rule that I came up with because I don't want us to sit here forever and just being like, yeah, I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want that. You say a name. You stick to it. There's no takesy backsies. All right, Elle?
Okay, that works for me.
I type it in, you're done. It's done.
Gotcha.
You can say you're thinking about 2 different games, and you can deliberate. You can go, yeah, they made this game. I'm looking at the Metacritic score of their previous game, or the OpenCritic of their previous game. So we are going to have a conversation around this. So once you select a game, talk about why you selected it. We're going to have that conversation of why you selected it. We're going to predict where we think it's going to land on a scale of 1 to 100 on the OpenCritic. And so we'll just have a nice little casual conversation about it. And then towards the end, the very last thing we'll do after the draft is do a counter pick. Counter pick is basically a game that we think is not going to do well on the other person's list. So if Elle picks, Elden Ring. I don't know why he's picking Elden Ring in 2023.
Yeah.
But if he picks Elden Ring and I go, you know what? I don't think Elden Ring 2020 and 2023 is going to do well. I mean, that would be stupid of me,
Gotcha.
but but that would be my counter pick. And if it does, and if it does bad, then I get points.
Okay.
So the base level is 70.
70.
On the scale of 1 to 100, you want to shoot for 70 or higher. 70 gets you 0 points, and then every number above 70 gets you 1 point until you get to 90, and then every point above 90 gets you 2 points.
Okay.
So you want to get your hope is that all your games that you pick are going to get a 70 or above. Anything below 70 starts losing points.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So the counter pick and the way the counter pick work is basically if I do, you do pick Elden Ring and I pick Elden Ring as the counter pick, then I would lose because it scored like 95 or whatever. I would lose. What is that? I lose about 50 points or something like that because it doubles up and all that, and so I would lose a crap ton of points, and you would gain a crap ton of points. So
gotcha.
So you want to play it strategically. You want to think about it. Look at the score, look at what they're doing, and that is what we're doing. Does all that make sense? I hope it does, because I don't want to explain it again. All right. So let's start drafting. There's a warning here. I clicked on the Let's Start Drafting. I'm going to read this warning out loud. Warning. Once you start drafting, you can no longer add or remove players, and the draft order is locked in. However, if you need to, you can reset the draft by pressing the Reset Draft link in the sidebar. That will let you change your player's settings again. All right, we're committing. Start the draft, baby!
All right. So for my first pick, I sound so professional right here. It's if you don't really, I don't know if you watch football that much when they do like the drafts and stuff, they always go for the number 1 pick. They, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to play it safe here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want solid foundation, and I feel like this game that I'm going to pick is going to be very solid, and it's going to do very well amongst players, and I think it's going to have a great rating overall.
Okay.
We both know about it. and I'm gonna say that we both love it. My first pick is Dead Space Remake.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what are you picking here? What do I love? Dead Space Remake. You're gonna go with Dead Space Remake. All right.
Yes, Dead Space Remake is the first one. To kind of go into it, this is a game that we both, I think, if memory serves me correct, the first game, the first original iteration of it, it was great, had a great score. I don't think I ever really heard anything bad about it, from what I remember, but I remember I loved playing this game, and it's a beloved one in the franchise amongst 2, and nobody really talks about 3 for a reason, but, um, it's a great game, playing as Isaac Clarke, great story,
Mhm.
great sci-fi horror survival. And I think this game is gonna score pretty well. I have a feeling just from the trailers that we've seen, from the devs, of just everything from the sound design down to how the updated graphics and everything looks just so beautiful and shiny. And it's just like the original Dead Space, but updated for the modern day systems. And I think it'll be great. I think this game will do well because it's going to invite new players in to check it out who didn't check out the original, and it's going to be beautiful, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a solid choice to pick off. The original Dead Space, just to give you an idea, the original Dead Space has a score of, hold on, typing it in. On why is it just? It's just showing me the remake on OpenCritic.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to look for the original score, but I couldn't find it on there.
Yeah, I didn't type in Dex. What the fuck? why are you doing this to me? Yeah, I don't see there for some reason it's not showing me the original score on OpenCritic, so we can't really base it off anything. But you know, it's like on Metacritic it has. Don't know what Metacritic, even though Metacritic is not used, it has an 89 on the Xbox 360 version. So yeah, Dead Space is like a solid choice to have.
Solid choice, exactly.
I can't imagine it in any way, shape, or form, you know, getting anything below an 80. Like I would be completely shocked. Like
Yeah.
it would have to be one of those things where like the game has to just be completely broken and unplayable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like that is the only way, because it's like, it's because from what I like, you know, from everything, it's still the same game. It's just, you know, updated modern graphics, better sound design. Like the sound design just sounds so gosh darn exquisite when you listen to it. They have like clips and stuff up on their Twitter page about it. And it just, oh my God, I'm so excited about this game. I hate that you took this because this was my first pick too. But you took it, so now I can't pick it.
Hilarious.
But yeah, so it's definitely a solid choice. Like I imagine I imagine it'll probably land around 85 to 90 is what I'm expecting. I can't imagine it going below that.
Yeah,
I think
that's my guess.
yeah. The only thing my biggest concern is the
Mhm.
fact that Callisto Protocol just came out, and I mean Callisto Protocol not really in the same league as Dead Space, unfortunately.
Oh,
um, but it could be one of those things where people play Dead Space and then go, actually, you know what? Callisto Protocol actually was pretty good, and Dead Space not real so good, you know. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But you never know;
yeah.
it could happen. It
So
could happen.
my thing with that, with Callisto, the reason why I chose Dead Space first, because of course those maybe if those listening or watching, if you haven't played Callisto Protocol, not great reviews just because it's very buggy, and it just left a lot to be desired,
Hmm.
as a couple people have been saying about it. My thing is, so I know that the potential is there for that for some reason. If in a crazy world, Dead Space is like doesn't live up to what people remember it or anything. But
Hmm.
I think the opposite will happen, where Callisto people who did play Callisto Protocol will go, this is horrible. Maybe I'll give this a shot. And they go and they go, this is what Callisto Protocol should have been. This is
Yeah.
amazing. This is great. And unfortunately, as much as like we wanted Callisto Protocol to be like up there with Dead Space,
Hmm.
it's just more so used as a comparison to what it could have been to the
Yeah.
Dead Space remake.
Yeah, and that's completely valid too. I can see
Yeah,
that happening as well, where it's like, yep, the Callisto Protocol, this is good. You know, Dead Space set a standard, and Callisto Protocol just didn't meet that standard, and this is a clear example of that. And it's wild to think how close these are coming out together, because like even though Callisto Protocol came out back in December, I've already
yeah,
forgotten about it.
exactly.
I played it. I played it. I love. I did enjoy it. I shouldn't say I loved it. I enjoyed it. The melee combat didn't vibe with me too much. Um, But like, yeah, it did, like, me playing it was just like, man, I can't wait for Dead Space. Can't wait for Dead Space. And then I've forgotten all about Callisto Protocol, which is a shame because I was so excited about that game last year.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's
But
just a shame. It happens.
but that's my number one pick.
That's your number one pick. All right.
Uh-oh. Let's see.
Woo! I'm going the easy route. I don't like this game. I'm not a fan of the series. I don't like the game. I don't like it at all. But I'm going the easy route because I know it's gonna hit. I know it's gonna hit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's
Uh-huh.
Legend of Zelda: Tears of a Kingdom.
Oh
Like, I don't give a shit about this game. I don't.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna fully confess. I don't like Zelda games, but I know a lot of people do. People are anticipating, have been anticipating this since Breath of the Wild came out. And so I figured, Legend of Zelda, it's gonna come out, it's gonna hit, people are gonna love it, it's gonna review extremely well. I have a feeling it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be above 90. I think it's gonna get like
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to get anywhere from 90 to 95. I think a lot of places are going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that's my pick. Legend of Zelda opening with that. Cause yeah, I figured that's going to be, a strong opening, strong pick.
Very strong choice. A very strong choice.
So, yeah, that's my pick going out the gate. I don't really have much more to say. Cause like, again, I don't actually care about this game, but I know a lot of people do. So
No, definitely. I'll say this to you to add into the conversation that this is a game that, if I remember correctly, was it not supposed to come out last year, but it got pushed back.
they never gave it a release date.
Gotcha.
They
Okay.
just
Okay.
said 2022, and then
People were hoping for it to come out.
yeah, it was
Okay.
people were hoping it was coming out in
Yeah.
2022.
So, if there's one thing that I know about Nintendo when it comes to their like key games, whether it be Mario, Zelda, Kirby, and those their key players in their system, their games tend to be A1 and they're always like spot on. They're
Yeah,
not like, even if they're not if they're not better than the previous one, they're still a great and good game. And so
yep,
this one is definitely one that I know since Breath of the Wild came out, people loved Breath of the Wild and they just love
mhm,
the world. This is just to build on that, and I think people are dying for this one. And I think Nintendo's, they know what they're doing. Nintendo moves at their own pace. Nobody rushes Nintendo,
yep,
and they're not gonna rush and release a game that is not finished just to appease the people. They're always gonna be like, no, you wait on us. When it's done, it's done, and
yep,
it comes out always great, and people always love them for it.
yep. And like to put this in perspective too, like the Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild on OpenCritic has a 96.
Woo!
I have a feeling that's going to be the same for. I think that's going to be the same for Tears of the Kingdom. Now it could come out and just be like it didn't live up to the highs of Breath of the Wild. It could come out and be a glitchy, buggy mess. I mean, like we saw with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Mhm.
It's highly possible. Obviously, like there's drastically different teams working on this and everything compared to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and all that. But like, I can't imagine this flagship title being Nintendo going, "Oh yeah, we this is not going to land or anything." So I think it's going to land, but there is a possibility. There's that slim possibility, but I don't
Very
think.
true.
But even then, even if it doesn't hit like Breath of the Wild, I still think it's going to get in like the 80s. I can't imagine this. I can't imagine this getting below a 70. Like I just can't. That would
No,
be wild.
that would be
Um,
very crazy
yeah.
if it did.
All right. So that was my first pick, and now I get to go again. I get to
Yeah.
go again, and this time I'm gonna add a little spice out there, a little pinch of spice. Just a little spicing it up. And
Okay.
I'm going with a game that you played recently. Well, you played the
Oh,
first one. Game that I truly like too.
okay.
Hollow Knight Silk Song. Hollow Knight Silk Song. I am
Great choice.
incredibly excited about this game. I absolutely love Hollow Knight, which is interesting for me because I'm not the biggest fan of the 2D
Yeah.
platformy Metrovania games or anything like that. But man,
Mhm.
Hollow Knight, something about its designs hit me. The controls, really enjoyed exploring the world. And so yeah, I'm incredibly excited about OpenCritic, or OpenCritic, I'm incredibly excited about Hollow Knight Silksong. Like, I think that game is going to come out. It's going to hit. I can't imagine it not hitting. The only downside is that it hasn't been officially stated it's coming out. So it's
Ooh,
entirely possible that it doesn't come out.
okay.
But it did during the Xbox showcase. You know, back in, I want to say it was like it was maybe it was the summer, I don't know. But during an Xbox showcase, when they showed like all these games are coming out in the next 6 months, Hollow Knight was part of that. So
Mm,
and the first Hollow Knight on OpenCritic has a 90. So
mm.
but yeah, I'm excited about Hollow Knight Silksong. I think it's gonna come out. I think it's gonna when it comes out, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit hard, and I think people are gonna love it because people have been wanting a Hollow Knight sequel. Have been wanting the sequel to Hollow Knight for a while. Like, and I imagine people are gonna love it.
Nice. I could definitely see that. Yeah, Hollow Knight is a game that such a great game. Art style is amazing.
Hmm.
It's very simple. Would you call it, it's like a platformer, or it's
It,
like
it's a it's a Metrovania game,
a
Castlevania Metroid game. Yeah.
boss fights are super fun for the
Hmm.
original Hollow Knight, and so this one, the second iteration, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, I think is gonna just add to it and continue to be another great game in addition to the original Hollow Knight. So, because I think you recommended me to play it because I remember I
Yeah.
think I saw it on Game Pass and I was like, I don't know, I think about playing this. And you're like, you should play it. It's pretty fun. And then started playing it, fell in love with it. I'm like, oh, this is great,
Yeah.
amazing. Um, and it's just like a fun game to get lost into.
Yeah. I agree. I
Nice.
agree. Did you seem surprised? Were you surprised
Yeah,
by that pick?
thinking about picking that one.
What? You were
I was
what?
thinking
Oh, okay.
picking that,
Okay.
and I was
Nice.
like, damn, because I looked at it and I was like, I think I'm gonna put that on the list. And then as soon as you said it, I said,
Yeah.
no.
You took Dead Space away from me, you son of a bitch.
Oh my god. Okay. So
All
then
right, you
now
got
I
you got 2 games in a row. You got 2 games
okay.
in a row here. So,
Oof. So okay. Now this next one I kind of feel like I'm taking a chance on.
mhm,
It is a game that a lot of are anticipating. Um, has a lot of hype around it. But the reason why I say I'm taking a chance just because I haven't been in the franchise of this series in a very long time. I haven't really played into it, but from everything that I've seen and that we've seen, um, I think it has a potential to be big.
mhm.
So, with that being said, I'm going to take Final Fantasy 16,
Okay.
and I think Final Fantasy 16 from the trailers that we've seen seems like one, people are fiending for this game and they're wanting to come out. It looks like a great game as far as like just from the trailers and somewhat of the battle system and the gameplay that we've seen from the showcases, and it makes me excited. And like the reason why, like I said, I haven't really played a Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy either 12 or like 10-2, and that's like years back. But I think that this one will be a big game, and I think that it will maybe not do as great as Zelda, but I think it will be a solid game, and I think people will love it if the with just alone with the music as well as like the story and the gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna review well. I'm looking at the, open critics of the last few Final Fantasies. So 15 got an 81. Final Fantasy 7 Remake has an 88. Granted,
Yeah,
Fantasy 7 is a remake. The remake is a remake of like the most beloved Final Fantasy. So,
exactly. Yeah.
16 is new, but like they're going into like a new direction with combat too, where it's like Devil May Cry like combat. The I will say like the trailers that we've seen, like the like big kaiju fights between the the things
Oh
look
yeah.
awesome. Like everything
Yes.
looks I will agree, everything about it looks awesome. I am interested in playing it too, but like it's it's a whatever to me, but
No, I get that.
I think it's going to review well. I do think it's going to review well. Where do you think it's going to land?
I think it'll be I wanna say around 85, 88.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close to 90. I don't think it'll hit 90, but I think it'll be around, middle of 80 or excuse me, 85 to 88, I think.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. I agree. I think it's gonna be 85 to 88. I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go above 90. I think, but maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Maybe.
So that's the first choice. Now the
All right.
second
Mm-hmm.
choice. Oof. This one, there's a couple that I looked at on here. And I think I'm gonna go with this choice. This is the franchise that um I would say a good number of people love. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think either of us love it, but I think that this is actually a game in this franchise that makes me want to dip back into it. The game that I speak of is Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yeah. Big
Um,
good choice.
yeah, and I think this will be a solid choice because I was looking at the Resident Evil Village before this, and it on OpenCritic it had an 84 average.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the player base loved this game a lot. From what I've seen, other people who played it and just the gameplays that I've watched, it looked very solid. It looked very cool. Looked very interesting. Resident Evil 4 is kind of playing on that. It's one of those beloved games, kind of like how what was the game we talked about just previously? The
Hollow Knight.
it's you mentioned something about a beloved. Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
And the way that
Sorry.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy is beloved, Resident Evil 4 is like one that a lot of players tend to talk about when it comes to this franchise, the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah.
And they talk about Leon Kennedy and like the character, and as far as like being in this village in Spain and just how cool it is and eerie and scary, and the gameplay from the original. This one, kind of like going off of the Dead Space remake that I picked earlier, I think this one is gonna bring that great gameplay that a lot of players and a lot of people love with updated graphics, this shiny new look, and I think that just like the first one, it'll give people a chance to dive back in to play this original game, maybe that they played before, or maybe they never got a chance to play, and I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a solid choice because it even makes me want to go play it because I know our friend Ron, as we always say, loved Resident Evil,
Yep.
even though we weren't big fans. But this makes me want to play it, even if I don't play other ones. Just for I like the character Leon Kennedy. He seems like a very cool character. Like I would want to play him, and
Yeah.
so I think this will be a good solid choice.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's a good solid choice. Resident Evil 2 remake, the one that came out a couple years ago,
Oh yeah,
2019, has a 92 on OpenCritic. Resident Evil 3 remake has a little less, 79. So
ooh,
I think you're in good work. I think it's gonna hit. Resident Evil 4 is gonna hit. I foresee it getting in like 85, 90 range, maybe even
yeah,
90. I don't see it going deep in the 90s, but I could see it getting a 90.
yeah, definitely.
All right. Um, but not a game I was even had on my list or even considered.
Yeah,
So next up is another. This is another safe bet. I have two. I get to go twice in a row here.
uh-huh, yeah.
This is a safe bet. This is a safe bet, and I'm gonna follow it up with a not safe bet.
Oh,
But the
okay.
safe bet is Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay.
Now this could backfire on me
Oh, yeah.
because it's not confirmed for 2023. So this could
True.
be a backfire.
Oh,
But I
boy.
do think Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to be a safe bet. I think Insomniac just keeps getting better and better with their games. Um, Insomniac, Ratchet and Clank,
Yep.
Spider-Man, all of that. So I think Spider-Man 1 was an enjoyable game. A lot of people liked it. Spider-Man Miles Morales, just as enjoyable. And I think this one's going to hit pretty well. If it doesn't, I think the only thing that's going to prevent it from really hitting is the fact that it may not even come out in 2023. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Open Critic on Marvel Spider-Man, the first one, is an 88. So
Mm,
I think if it comes out this year, and it's supposed to, it's expected to come out in later on in the year, like in the October November area, like the first like the first one did. So.
mhm.
I think this is a safe bet for me. I think this is a safe bet.
I could see that. Yeah, that's a very solid choice. I mean, when you think of the other Marvel Spider-Man, great game, great story. Like if you're into like Spider-Man, this is only going to just I think it's just going to be just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
Like you said, Insomniac, they have a track record of making great games, and so I have faith in them that they will take the Spider-Man series and just keep on accelerating it, bringing great stories, maybe from the comic books to just keep making it that much better. And yeah, the only setback, yeah, is if it doesn't come out this year. The only thing, because yeah, they haven't really established a release date, so
Yeah.
it's
You
just
know,
hope.
it's got to be hopeful. I
Yeah.
have 2 games on there I got to be hopeful for. But if Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and Spider-Man come out, I think they're both going to hit. I think Marvel Spider-Man 2 will probably hit the similar range of like probably close to 90, between
Yeah,
85 and 90. I will be surprised if it goes above 90, but I do think it's going to hit fairly well. And
nice.
then my next game.
Uh-oh.
This is where things get interesting for me
Oh boy.
cuz I have a couple games that I know I want to pick, but I'm going to wait. I want to wait and see if you pick them up. So
Okay.
I'm going to do one that, you know, maybe it'll do well, maybe it won't.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be my trek to Yomi
Yomi?
this year. But I'm going to go with Atomic Heart as my next pick. As
Whoa.
my fourth pick. I'm excited about Atomic Heart. It comes out in a couple weeks. It's coming out February 21st.
Nice.
You know, it it looks amazing and like visually looks amazing. I dig the vibe for it, the BioShock meets Wolfenstein vibe to it.
Mhm.
Look graphically, it looks beautiful. But it could come out and just be the most generic piece of crap on the planet, you know? Which is why I say this is the gamble here. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to come out. I think it's going to hit. I think it's probably going to I'm predicting it's probably going to be 75, 80 range is what I'm expecting. I think it's going to get me a couple points, but I don't think it's going to get me a lot of points.
Mhm.
I think it is a game that's going to come out. Some people are going to like it. Some people are not going to like it. I think I predict the main complaint for it is that it's going to feel fairly generic in terms of
Mm.
like gunplay and stuff. So, but I'm hoping that it'll do well. I am hoping that it'll get above an 80, but I'm fully expecting it to be 75 to 80. Um, I just hope it doesn't get below that because then it will starts going into my trek to Yomi, where I was just completely disappointed in that game.
Oh yeah.
So
No, definitely. I think it's a choice that I thought about making, because I am interested in it. It has the potential to look and be a great game.
mhm.
Has that Castlevania, not Castlevania, the
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein look, and I it has a potential, and this is one of those where I feel like you are taking a chance because it's either really gonna hit, or it's gonna be a solid hit, or it's gonna be up like a solid miss.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It's from everything that I've seen, it looks pretty solid. But also, I mean, hey, the trailers and the gameplay footage just could be covering up something that we don't see yet until the
yeah,
full game comes out. But
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. I am excited for it too, so I can't wait till it comes out to play it. But yeah,
yeah. Awesome.
nice.
You're up. You
All right.
got 2 picks in a row, El. You're up.
So these next two might actually be chance picks. Let's just
Mhm,
call them. My first pick, I have a feeling I think it'll be good just because this franchise, from what I've seen of the previous scores, in this franchise, they tend to be solid. They're not like just crazy like good, but they tend to be solid. And from the gameplay footage that we've seen on this first one, it looks fun. And like I want to get my hands on it. This one is Like a Dragon Ishin.
okay.
And it's a solid choice. It's in the Yakuza series, is it not?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Yakuza.
Yakuza series.
Like a Dragon is, the actual name in Japan, and then for some
Gotcha.
reason, when it
Okay,
came over to the Western audiences, it was Yakuza, but
changed
now
back.
it's been changed officially to Like a Dragon going
Ah,
forward.
gotcha.
It's confusing, but yeah, they're all Yakuza and Like a Dragon, all the same franchise.
Exactly. And so I'm excited for this because I know this is also a game that originally already released overseas, and so
Mhm,
but now it's just now coming to us. And it looks great. It looks like it'll be fun. This I do feel like it'll be a chance pick because I looked at a couple of other Yakuza scores and they were pretty solid, maybe like around 82 to 85 range.
mhm,
Um, but this could be the one that just is a dud and just doesn't hit so well. But I think from what we've seen so far, it might be a fun game, and I'm
Yeah.
taking a chance on it.
Yeah.
Because the others for the rest of the games in the franchise, it's a lot of fun. It's very heavy in story, and there's a lot of gameplay to go through. But it's very funny, ridiculous, and just a good game like to get into. And so, but with this one, I'm excited to get into it, and hopefully, hope this hits. And so,
Yeah. All right.
but yeah, I don't know if you wanted to add anything or.
No, I mean, I'm excited to play it. I'm going to play it when it drops. But yeah, I already am a fan of the Yakuza games and Like a Dragon games, so it's like I'm excited for it.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Okay. Cool.
Did I have it
So,
on my list? Maybe.
whoa. So my next pick, we saw the gameplay trailer. I can't remember when at one of these showcases. I'm excited for this game. Even though I don't enjoy these games, type of game, let's say that.
Mhm.
And the reason why I like it is because the art style, and I like the setting that it's in, and the character that you play as well as the creatures in this game that you fight against. I am talking about Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Oh, okay. You going with that? Nice.
Yeah. And so
Nice.
I think because this is more of your Souls type of game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very rough to play if you're not used to it, if you're not used to dying a lot.
Mhm.
But it looks like I think it looks like a great fun game just because these creatures look great. Even though I know Elden Ring, they have great design and all that stuff. Whatever, I'm not a big fan of it. This one attracts me for some reason just because I like the way that the art style is done on it. They look really cool, and it's cool to uh what's it called to fight in the setting that it's in, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited for it, even though I'm not very big into Souls type games. But I'm gonna give this one a chance, and hopefully it will be a good game, and it won't just be like no story, and
Yeah.
hopefully like it takes up like a Dark Souls or Dead Souls, and it's like people love it. So
Yeah. So to put this into perspective for you, so this is from the creators of Neo, Team Ninja.
oh nice.
Neo 1, 88 on OpenCritic. Neo 2, 85. So,
Oh, okay.
it's a good bet to bet on this game because like it's probably gonna land in a similar place as those.
Nice.
Team Ninja, a fantastic developer, and people love the Neo games, and I imagine they're gonna love. I imagine they're gonna love Wolong. So, but
Nice.
yeah, I also had thought about Wolong, but you took it from me,
Mm.
so whatever. I'm not salty. You're salty. No. All
Nice.
right. Do you have anything else to add to Wolong?
No, I'm that's actually a game that I am excited even like, I'm literally gonna play the game knowing that I don't like Souls types of games, just
Yeah.
because I love the artist, style of it, the art style of it, and who knows, maybe on that one, for some reason, I'll pick it up, and I'll love that, but I won't like the Dark Souls or Dead Souls series,
Yeah.
but for some reason, that one, I'll enjoy it a lot. Because yeah, I don't know, it's something about that series, even though I know people love it and, one game of the year, woohoo, whatever. But I'm just not a super big fan of it. It just
Yeah.
it's not fun to me, but who
Yeah.
knows? People are probably laughing like, "You don't know what you're getting into," but whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in playing it. I'm probably not going to play it at launch or anything. I'll probably play it eventually, but
Yeah.
maybe if so maybe something similar to happens, like the hype will get me because like that's what happened with me in Elden Ring, where I was like, I'm not interested in Elden Ring at all. And then I got swept up in the hype and started playing Elden Ring. And then I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I fucking hate this. I hate this. So,
Exactly.
but maybe that'll happen with Wolong. All right.
Gotcha.
So, L, I have two more choices left. You have one choice left. I get to get my last two ones out of the way, and then we'll get you in for the last pick
Okay.
of the night.
These should be interesting.
How are you feeling so far? Do you think you got a good? You feel
I
confident
think
in your selection?
Yeah, I think I feel confident. There's only, like, really one that I'm like, it was much of a chance, and that's, Like a Dragon.
Hmm.
Even though they tend to do okay, but that's one of those games where, like, it does okay, and then for some reason, it has a one-off that just does not not so great.
Yeah.
And so, but I could be wrong. But I think that I have a solid choice of games. Also, for some reason, the more that I talk, Final Fantasy, who knows? It could
Yeah.
be a dud. People could
Yeah.
hate that game and just
Yeah.
not have a blast, and then next thing you know, they're like, "Whoever made this is horrible," and, like, it just could just tank, but, 'cause it has that, the opportunity is there for that to happen, and so, there's no telling, but I'm having faith and I'm believing that
Yeah.
it will do good. It doesn't have to do great, but if it does well, it does good, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt good about mine as well. I think like Hollow Knight and Spider-Man 2 are the two big ones because unsure if they're actually going to come out. I think
Yeah.
Atomic Hearts is going to be middle ground.
Yeah.
I think Zelda is going to really carry me in this
Oh,
this
yeah.
opening
Oh, yeah,
drafts.
definitely.
But hey, that's fine. That's fine. Um, so now I'm in an interesting position because of like I have several games that I want to say, but I'm
Uh-huh,
also curious to even I'm curious since you only have one left, one
uh-huh,
option left, and I'm trying to play the chess here. Maybe
uh-huh.
I'm ultimately playing checkers. Who knows? um, trying to. It's like it's one of those things where I want to scoop this last one up because I have a feeling I think I know what your last one would be. And do I want to
Oh,
scoop? Do I want to scoop it up?
I don't know if you do. This might be a wild card.
Yeah, might be a wild card. But my heart is also telling me to go with motherfucking Star Wars Jedi Survivor because I love Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm excited about Jedi Survivor.
Yep,
There's not really much for me to say here other than the fact that I'm basing with my heart here more
yep,
than anything. Jedi Fallen Order. I think. Hold up, I'm looking at it right now. It only has I got an 82 on OpenCritic. For some reason, I thought it was lower than that. Um, but I think Jedi Survivor is going to come out. It's going to hit. I think it's going to improve on what Fallen Order did. I think the only thing that's really going to hold it back is if they didn't improve on anything. If it's pretty much the exact same thing, I think that's going
yep,
to hold it back. I think they do have a monumental task of making it feel natural, going
right,
from where Cal Kestis was in Jedi at the end of Jedi Fallen Order,
mhm,
because like that whole game, you're going on this journey with Cal Kestis, with him reconnecting to the Force, him becoming a Jedi again, basically, and so rediscovering his Force powers, and so going from there to this, is he still going to be as powerfully as he was at the end of Jedi Survivor? Like, it's always one of those weird things when you go have a sequel like this, where it's like, okay, so am I going to have to relearn all of those abilities that he already had? You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, that's going to feel like a dumb task to do. You know what I mean? Um,
exactly.
but I have faith. I have faith. That Respawn is going to do well. Respawn, please. But we're not connected to Respawn in any way. But I have confidence that Respawn is going to do well with Jedi Survivor because they did
Yeah,
great with Fallen Order. And
true,
so
very true. And
I'm excited about this game.
yeah, it is a game that a lot of people are waiting for. I know I'm excited to play it. I still actually have to go through the first one, and so just so I can play this one. But from what I hear, the first Jedi Fallen Order, great game, solid game, and yeah, the
Yeah,
Survivor it's cool and it's like a continuation to a story that people they want to continue going through and seeing what happens next.
yeah. And as a Star Wars fan, Jedi Fallen Order was probably the best Star Wars game since the old Knights of the Old Republic, in my opinion. My opinion. You could think
Yeah,
other Star Wars games are good, but Star Wars Knights of the Republic is sort of like the bar for all Star Wars games, and that's a huge bar to like try to overcome because that game is so gosh darn beloved.
exactly. What
Um,
about Star Wars pod racing? No,
I platinum that game actually.
really?
I have the platinum on PlayStation, yeah, because it got re-released on
So bad.
PlayStation like back at the beginning of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
I played it. I played it and got the platinum, and then I never want to touch that fucking game again. So,
What about Saboba? No.
Saboba. um,
Eh,
yeah. So this last game,
oh,
once again, I'm voting. I'm going with my heart here
okay.
because I could pick the easy pick. I could pick the easy picks. I could pick the easy picks here. But I'm going
Uh-huh.
to go on with one that people aren't confident in. We're going to get it later on this week, actually, during an Xbox showcase.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get information about it, and I'm going with this one because I have complete faith in Arcane. I have complete
Oh,
faith that Redfall is gonna hit and it's gonna do
wow.
well. Um, I am a fanboy of Arcane Studios. I love Arcane. I love Dishonored. I love Deathloop. I enjoyed Prey. I have complete confidence that Redfall is going to do well. I don't think it's going to blow anybody away, but I do think it's going to land in like the high 70s, low 80 range. I don't think Arcane has made a bad game yet. Like even Prey is an 81.
Mhm.
Dishonored is a 78. Dishonored 2. Sorry, I'm looking up all the 87. Dishonored 2, 87. Deathloop is Dead Age. I said Deathloop, you stupid fucking
For some reason.
at 88 as well. So like they haven't gone beyond a 90 yet. And I don't think Redfall is going to be that game that gets them above a 90, but I do think it's going to hit in the high 70s, low 80 range. I can't imagine them fumbling this horribly or anything like that because all their games have hit. All their games are really good. Prey's good. Deathloop's good. Like just the gameplay itself in all their games feels so damn good. Um,
Mm,
Now I'll take it or leave it with story and stuff. I'm not the biggest Deathloop fan story wise,
mhm.
but like the gameplay is amazing in Deathloop. I absolutely adore the story for Dishonored 1 and 2, though. And Prey, from what I understand, has a really good story. I haven't completed Prey, but one day I will. But yeah, I have complete faith in Arcane Studios. I think they're gonna. I think Redfall is a safe middle ground bet to take.
Nice. That is, yeah. I was actually funny because I did look at that and I was like, oh yeah, that is supposed to come out this year. And I was like, I haven't heard anything else about it. When is it
It's
gonna
getting
come out?
talked about next week during the Xbox Direct.
Exactly. All right.
So,
So
what
I
is your
agree.
last game?
I'm excited. I was gonna say
Oh,
real quick before I go
oh,
to my last pick that Redfall does look great. I'm excited to play it, and I cannot wait. It looks cool from the trailer that we saw in the other short. Was it the other Xbox showcase last year?
yeah, it was the this over the summer. So.
That's right. Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm excited for it, and can't wait to see more of it. So
Mm.
anyway, so moving on to my last pick. Oh boy, this I'm looking at the list that I have here because I'm stuck between two. And they're both to me chances. But I think I'm going to go with my heart and go with one that I think has the potential to be great, and I think it's one that actually nobody's talking about. That from what I see, but I'm interested in the game myself to play it. It'd be cool if me, you, and our other friends, if they play it, Blitz and Dove.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's on the consoles. Anyway, moving on. Um, the game I'm talking about, you're gonna be like, "What? You really talking about this game?" Meet Your Maker.
Oh, yeah.
Meet Your Maker. I think that this game has the potential to be really solid, great game just because of the forge aspect of it, just the creation aspect of building your bases and having other players come in trying to take over your base. Um, I love the idea of this game. Just being able to go into other places and trying to get to I can't remember what it was. The just trying to defeat it or get to the main thing to steal whatever it is. Um, and so I'm excited for this game. It doesn't come out till April, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And I think it's a sleeper, and I think it's actually going to be a really good game. I think it won't be in the high 90s. I think it's going to be like in the middle to below 80s. And I think it's going to be really good. If it does go closer to 90s, I'll be happy. But still, I think this game has potential. I was actually gonna pick a different game, but I decided not to because I felt like if I did, you'd laugh because of how ridiculous it is. But anyway,
Yeah.
maybe I'll
I mean,
put
you
it
could
in there
draft it.
later
You could
after the
draft it.
fact
So,
over the
yeah.
year. But I'm excited for Meet Your Maker just because, yeah, I love the idea a lot just from the trailers that we've seen and what you can do. Because really the thing that excites me the most is just going to see what everybody creates. That's like my favorite thing because you're gonna have creative people in there creating the craziest bases that are just like impenetrable or just like super like hard to break into. And so
Yeah.
that's my last pick.
Awesome. I think it'll be. I think it'll be an interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting game, to say the least. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I looked up Dead by Daylight because they're so Meet Your Makers from the creators of Dead by
Oh,
Daylight, and I have Dead by Daylight pulled up, but for some reason it is Borderlands that is. It is they
oh
have artwork for Borderlands instead of Dead by Daylight, but everything
yeah,
underneath it is right. So because like it's Starbreeze
that's
Studios, Behavior
hilarious.
Digital. um,
Funny.
I'm confused. But whatever. Dead by Daylight actually has a 70 on OpenCritic. Um, no. Granted, at the time when the game first came out, it's completely different from when it first came out. I guess not
Yeah,
completely different, but it is a game that has improved over time. So compared to where it was at launch. So I think that might be a factor to consider if they can. I mean,
sure.
you've already locked it in, but like, is it gonna? I think this is a game that's going to be more long term rather than it's going to become a beloved thing. But I don't know. I could see it landing in the 75 range, like mid 70s range, and then as time goes on, it becomes a beloved sort of thing.
I could see that. Yeah.
Dude,
Nice.
so weird. Why is this showing me Borderlands artwork?
It's a secret Borderlands. When you get the game, it's actually the next Borderlands.
That's be wild. That would be
That would
freaking
be
wild.
wild.
But that is good, solid pick though. It's a game that has been flying under my radar. I remember us talking about it, going, "Oh, that looks awesome," and then I keep forgetting about it until you bring it up. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's like, okay, yeah, it's there.
I'm taking a chance on it, so we'll
Yeah.
see how it plays out.
All right. So it is now time to do the counter picks. I get to go first.
Okay.
So you have well, before we do counter picks, Al,
Mhm.
you want to run through your games that you've picked real quick and then I'll run through mine.
Yes, so the game that I picked were Dead Space Remake, Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Like a Dragon, Ishin, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, and Meet Your Maker.
Nice. Solid list, solid list. For
Mhm.
me, I have The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Atomic Heart, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Redfall. And for my counter pick
Mhm.
is the game that we just talked about. Meet Your Maker. I just don't have faith in it. That is my counter pick. That was kind of an easy pick for me.
I get
I'm
you.
gonna be honest. I
I
was
feel
getting worried because I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be hard if he doesn't pick something coming out of nowhere." Watch Meet Your Maker gonna be the highest game on the list that you have. It's gonna get a
that's so
tens.
funny.
It's gonna get a perfect
That'd be
100.
hilarious.
It'll
They'd
be
be
like,
like, "That's
"Shit, damn it!"
95."
But I mean, like I said, I think it's gonna land in like the mid 70s range. And
Yeah,
if at worst, I do think it's probably gonna be the lowest rated game on your list out of all of those. I think the only one that might come close is Like a Dragon, as much as that pains me to say.
yeah.
I do think Like a Dragon's probably going to be the other lowest one. But yeah, I think Meet Your Maker is definitely the one that's probably going to be the weak link on your list.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
So then for my pick on yours, I'm actually stuck between 2 because C2, I'm good. Well, I have a feeling. You know what? No, I know what I'm going with. I'm not second guessing it. It just popped in my head. I'm actually going to go with this. Might be a surprise. I'm counter picking Redfall.
okay,
I actually think Redfall might not be so great. The draft is complete. Um, the reason why I say that is just because we haven't seen too much, and I know Arcane's great and everything, but I think this might be one that falls a little short of what it could have been.
man.
Uh, I could be totally wrong as well. But because I was gonna pick Atomic Heart, but for some reason my gut is telling me that I think Atomic Heart will be a good game.
Mhm.
And so now instead I think Redfall I think will is it's just the other one. Just because I feel like Marvel Spider-Man's gonna be great. Like I think of course Legend of Zelda is gonna be great. Like there's no track record for Zelda to be like just super horrible.
Yeah,
Um and what was the other one that you had picked? I forgot.
I picked Silk Song, Atomic Heart, Spider-Man, Jedi Survivor, Redfall, Tears of a
And
King.
I was almost gonna say Just Forever, but I have a feeling that I think that's actually also gonna be a solid game as well.
Which one?
Jedi Survivor.
Oh, Survivor. Yeah.
But Redfall, it was between Redfall or Atomic Heart, but I'm going with Redfall. I think Redfall will be.
You're gonna be a loser because it's gonna get perfect tens.
Yeah,
No,
I want all these games to be great, but
yeah,
you know,
I think we're both in like this position where I think we both have really solid lists. I think there's like, I think for both of us, maybe two for me, Atomic Heart and Redfall. But I think like your list is really good. Meet Your Maker is, I man, I wish I had your faith in it. My thing is like I just keep forgetting about Meet Your
yeah,
Maker.
exactly.
You know, I just keep forgetting that it exists. And then you bring it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that game. I remember us talking about it, and then
that's
it looked cool. But I keep like it just leaves my mind pretty much immediately. I guarantee you, when we come back to this, like to check up on this, like post E3, my brain is gonna go, what the hell is Meet Your Maker? I guarantee you, I'm gonna forget.
Exactly.
Where I'm just gonna be like, what is Meet Your Maker, Ell? Why did you pick that? What is that? Oh, it's been out and it has a score of freaking 60. Not a surprise. But yeah, I do think Redfall though, definitely. I think there is the chance that it's not going to do well, and then same with Atomic Heart. I don't think there's any chance that Tears of the Kingdom or Spider-Man or Silk Song do bad.
Solid choices.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I am surprised by a lack of a certain game not being on there, but it's also not surprising. Keeps getting pushed back. Who knows if it's ever going to come out?
Exactly. You never know. You never know.
But anyways,
I am surprised that one game did not get on there, but who knows? Maybe it'll pop up here.
Yeah, maybe one of us will bid on some games. I mean, because we are now in the bidding stage. So the way the bidding works is that we have a budget of $100, and we bid. It's a silent auction basically. I don't know if you bid on it. You won't know if I bid on it. It's just there. It's there.
Got
So you won't know if I bid on something. You won't see it until it's claimed. So if we both are bidding on a game, whoever has the highest amount. So let's say, again, using Elden Ring as an example, if we had both decided to start bidding on Elden Ring, whoever bid the most, like I bid $25 and you bid $50 for Elden Ring, then you got it and you lose your $50. And so you have only $50 for the rest of the games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how the bidding is going to work. You have to come back regularly to check on it and stuff. And there is a bidding process here. Let me show you real quick. Switch that. Right. So you can see the bid process is in 0 days. So every week, looks like it's every week on Sunday, maybe.
Nope.
Yeah, maybe at evening on Saturday. But like once a week, it will reset the bids, and so it'll take the bids. And if you've made a bid during that week, it'll get added to your list on whoever won. And so we have 6 more spots to fill up. We have 6 more spots to fill up. So you can fill them up now. You can fill them up tonight. You can fill them up. You can wait till E3 to see all those, the E3 Summer Games Fest stuff. See what games are coming out there. Or go crazy now.
Oh, tough choice because who knows? Next thing you know, you see something at the E3 Summer Games. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have got this one.
Yeah. Well, I think most of our games, like pretty much every game on your list has a solid release date.
Yep.
I only 3 of my games have release dates, and then 3 of them don't. So I think we did fairly good. It's gonna be a great year in video games. Let's be real. Like I think, especially if all of my games come out, like if Hollow Knight comes out, if Marvel Spider-Man comes out, Redfall obviously is supposed to come out sometime this year because it was supposed to come out summer last year. Tears of the Kingdom, Resident Evil Remake. All of these are just fantastic games. So it's going to be a great year for video games, I think.
Definitely.
Just in January, you have your first game coming up in Dead Space. Just not
next week.
Next week, yeah, you have it coming up. So, it's. Are you
It
excited?
comes out, it's 60. No.
I mean, that's on you, man. I have nothing to do with that. I'll be like, damn, you suck.
Like Isaac, no.
You failed me, Isaac. Get eaten by the necromorphs, you son of a bitch. It is interesting. If you look at the projected points, I am technically in the lead on the projected points.
See that.
By a good margin, too. By a good margin.
It is.
So that'll be interesting. You'll see. Yeah, we'll see. This is all, who knows what'll happen. Games can be wild. Games that, you think are going to do good, like Trek Naomi for me last year. I thought it was going to do well. It looked beautiful. It comes out.
Wow.
I hated the game, and, reviews for it weren't great. So,
yeah, very true. Very, very true.
Then games like Elden Ring come out. I hate Elden Ring, but everybody loves it. So I shouldn't say I hate Elden Ring because I don't actually hate it. I just like to stir shit up,
I hear you. I don't like it, but whatever.
Man, I want to ask you. Man, it's hard, because I don't want you to tell me a game that you're going to use or anything like that. But do you have a vision for the rest of your year? Do you for sure have 6 games that you want to do but are going to hold off on just to see what gets revealed at E3 that may be oh, I'm going to take that instead of this?
I'll tell you this. What I will tell you is I have a good solid 4 that I'm sure of, but there's two or 3 or 4 that could easily be rotated. I just want to see more of it before I actually bid it. It's just because what I've seen looks good of the games that I want to put on there, but I need to see a little bit more, and it's still January. We're still
it's still January. We got plenty of time. There's no rush at all to try to fill your last 6 slots up.
Exactly. And there's a couple surprises in there that you might be like, what? But I want to see a little bit more because I need that reassurance. That's what I need. There's a couple that I'm like, okay, I think this is gonna be great. It'll be solid. But there's a couple I'm like, I just need a little more to have faith in it. I don't want to, be in a situation in a game that has not been having great reviews lately. That we talked about before the podcast. I don't want to end up like that. So,
yeah, my dog's going crazy.
Your dog knows.
Yeah, he knows. He knows everything. But yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. There's 2 games that I want to put on my list for sure. And then I am gonna, waiting for the E3 Summer Game Fest season to reveal anything, especially for indie games. I think there's going to be a lot of good indie games that are going to come out towards the latter half of the year because you never know. There may be a freaking Inscription that gets released at the end of the year or something, that will take the indie world by storm. And it's oof, I want to scoop something like that up because freaking
exactly, yeah. It just you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah, and man, I think that's the key here is gonna be honest, using looking at the indie space and trying to identify those indies that are gonna hit. Inscription when it came out, it got an 86.
Wow,
fucking that's awesome.
Exactly.
So and then that Inscription went under the radar and nobody really talked about it at all, despite it reviewing extremely well. Which again, wild to me, but
very true.
Granted, I didn't hear about it until December, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this out because it's right up my alley because it's a card-based game, and yeah. Sadly, I will tell you this. And this isn't me trying to dissuade you from anything, but because one of our stipulations on the thing is not to have early access games, we won't be able to put Hades 2 on our list.
Oh,
because Hades 2 is coming out this year, but it's early access.
Oh, sorry, Hades.
Yeah, because I would have freaking put Hades 2 up there immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
I freaking love Hades. Hades was my game of the year in 2020, I want to say. Yeah, 2021.
Yep.
When did Hades come out? What was the release date?
I think it was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, September 17th, 2020. The official release date, but it was also in early access for a year and a half, 2 years or something like that. But yeah, Hades. Fucking God, I love Hades. But yeah, so that's a game that we won't be able to put on our list because we banned the early access games from our league.
It's all right.
It's also it probably wouldn't have gotten reviews anyways because it was early access.
True. Very true.
Man, but solid list all around. I think we both, like I said, we both have solid lists. I'm a little worried about Silksong and Spider-Man. Because yeah, the prediction for Spider-Man is fall 2023, and
Oof.
then Silksong is just TBA.
Oh,
So I can drop. You are allowed to drop games. You can only drop one game though.
oh,
So
interesting. That's gonna be interesting.
however, you can't drop them once the game has their scores out. You can drop
Yeah,
it before.
yeah.
But you can't drop them once they have the scores out. Once the scores are out, you have to keep it.
Gotcha.
And all that. So if it's looking like Silksong doesn't come out, I'm gonna be if we get to E3 and it's like Silksong 2024, I'm gonna be like,
Ooh,
bye
drop it.
Silksong, dropping you're off the list. I'm gonna replace you with somebody else. But yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 is gonna get released though. I think because there isn't really any big Sony games getting released this year.
Yeah, true. Because God of War just came.
Yeah, God
last
of War
year.
just came out. So I think Spider-Man's the perfect spot to have that big release.
Yeah,
So
I
that could be the
definitely see
big release at the end of the year, fall and all that.
Nice.
I mean, they do have like Final Fantasy 16 is exclusive to PlayStation, so they do have that, but it's not
Yeah,
Sony
right.
first party. So
Well, yeah, we'll just wait and see. I feel like as the year goes on, there's gonna be this. We have to find like there's a sleeper in here somewhere. We have to
Yeah.
find
we
out
gotta
who.
discover what that sleeper is.
Yeah, we just.
I
Have
think
to
I know
figure
what it is. I think I know what it is because
Oh,
yeah. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think I know what it is. I have faith. The problem is I don't know if it's going to actually get released this year.
Well,
because the developers I wonder I don't think you're going to do super deep research into this, but the developers for this particular game they were based in the Ukraine, and because of the Ukraine war and stuff, they had to like delay the game because it was supposed to come out at the end of 2022, but because of the war in Ukraine and stuff, they got pushed back, and there's now it's up in the air when it's going to get released because again, the war in the Ukraine. So
makes sense.
Yeah, but it does say 2023, so who knows? Maybe they're back on track. But it's a beautiful game. It's a little beautiful indie game. So I'm excited about it. There's a couple other ones too, like stuff. I'm not going to tell you what. I don't want to reveal everything to you.
Exactly. It's such a beautiful game, you know. I don't have to say it.
All right, Ell. I think we've hit the wall. I think we're done here. We've done our fantasy draft. Do you have any regrets?
No.
Do you look at your list and you go, you know what? I should have put Elden Ring on this list, even though Elden Ring came out last year.
No, I'm happy with the list so far. I'm gonna try to figure out how I want to play the next if there's anything I really want to put on here or if I want to wait it out. Part of me tells me to wait a little bit on certain games that I want to add to my list, so I'll probably do that. But I might add one or two to the list as the year goes on. So
yeah. I feel that. I feel that too. I do regret one of my games.
Oh boy!
The more I think about it, I'm not going to drop it. I'm not going to drop it until we see. Until hopefully E3 rolls around. And they're like, "Yep, it's coming." It's Silksong. The more I think about Silksong, the more worried I am. I shouldn't think about it.
That's so funny.
But yeah. Anyways, I'm excited about this. And yeah, we'll see who wins. See who has to buy the other freaking person a pizza at the end of the year.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, you may have to send it to Japan.
Whoa!
So, spoilers.
Spoiler.
Anyways, take us down, Ell. Let's end this. Cracker Jacks.
Tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to Respawn Please podcast. You can catch us live every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't catch us, the broadcast usually goes up after the live stream. If you don't watch the video, you can catch the audio version of it on the go at Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Just type in Respawn Please and it'll pop up there. Also, make sure to follow the podcast on our social media platforms. For Instagram and TikTok, it's at Respawn Please Podcast. And for Twitter, it's at Respawn_Please. Also, make sure to visit respawnplease.com. We'll be adding more stuff here as the year goes on. And make sure to like and subscribe because we're going live every week and we post videos and stuff like that.
And going forward, every Wednesday we're going to be streaming some video game. We're going to be maybe it'll be Overwatch, maybe it'll be Dark Tide, maybe it'll be Dead by Daylight. You know, maybe when Meet Your Maker comes out, we'll play some Meet Your Maker. Do what?
Dead by Daylight. Oh, sorry, not Dead by Daylight. No, I was thinking of Dying Light. I thought you.
What? I'm confused. You want me to play Dying Light?
That's what I thought you said. I was like, you hate Dying Light. No.
How dare you even bring up that disgusting name? But no, we'll play. We're gonna play. It's gonna typically be co-op games, and it'll be me and Ell, and maybe some of our friends and stuff. And we'll be playing stuff. Every Wednesday from 7 to about 9 o'clock U.S. Central Time. So for about 2 hours every Wednesday. So come check us out then. It'll be on our YouTube channel at Respawn Please. Did I add podcasts at the at Respawn Please for YouTube? I can't remember. I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't. Apologies. Here, I'll go look right now.
Yeah,
Yep, it's at Respawn Please podcast. Be on the lookout for that though. Every Wednesday going forward, starting next week. So
nice.
So be on the lookout for that, you jerky poos. And we also starting a review series. Right now, I think we're gonna do it like once a month, right, Al, for our review please anime.
Yeah, review please anime.
Our first one is, what's our first one gonna be?
Bocchi the Rock.
Wow, Bocchi the Rock. That will not be live, but that recordings will go up on Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that as well. It'll be about a once a month, maybe twice a month, depending on how ambitious we're feeling about reviewing anime. But yeah, be on the lookout for that on Wednesday next week as well. We're recording that tomorrow, right? Are we still recording that tomorrow, Al? Are you still able to do it?
We are.
Okay, I'm panicked. You've been telling me you had 1,000 things to do.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I made time for it, so it's okay. It'll go around.
Awesome. All right.
Nice.
Well, have a fantastic night, y'all, and be out on the lookout for all the cool things we're doing.
Love y'all.
He doesn't love you. He's fucking lying to you. Don't listen to him. Goodbye.
Bye.